On December 17th, 2018, Amtrak Cascade 501 would get ready to depart King Street Station in Seattle on the inaugural run of the Point Defiance bypass. Little did anyone know this train would never reach its destination, nor make a scheduled stop again. This is the story of the DuPont train derailment. So it's December 18th, 2018, and Amtrak Cascade 501 is made up of Siemens SC44 number 1402, a 12-car set, and P42 number 181. The engineer was 48-year-old Stephen J. Brown, who had been hired by Amtrak in 2010. He was very experienced in being an engineer, but after the incident, he would end up being fired by Amtrak. It was meant to run from Seattle, Washington to Portland, Oregon, and on the 18th of December, they would depart Seattle for Portland. The Charger numbered 1402 was brand new at the time, and if I remember correctly, it was the second or third delivered to Amtrak Cascade, and P42 had been on Amtrak for a long time at that point. At 6 a.m., Amtrak 501 would depart, leaving for Portland and reaching speeds in excess of 80 miles an hour. As the curve came into view, they slammed on the brakes and were recorded saying, "We're dead."
Amtrak 501, emergency. We are on the ground.
Okay.
We are on the bridge 5 in the square.
That'll do. Easy stop, tack bar.
On the freeway. We need EMS ASAP. It looks like they're already starting to show up.
BNSF to trainer dispatcher 501, come in.
Amtrak 501 answering Centralia North, over.
Hey guys, what happened?
We were coming around the corner to take the bridge over I-5 there, right north into Squally, and we went on the ground.
Okay, is everybody okay?
I'm still figuring that out. We got cars everywhere and down onto the highway.
Okay, copy that. Engineer can comply with stop indication.
I haven't found my engineer. This is the conductor. We can comply with the stop signal, over.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Amtrak 5.
What milepost are you roughly at?
If I can't reach you, I'll try to call you.
Okay, what milepost are you roughly at?
Believe we're roughly milepost 2021. It's the bridge that goes over I-5. I'll have an exact milepost for you when I can.
Every single piece of rolling stock, except for Amtrak 181, would end up coming off of the rails and spilling onto the highway and the embankment. They would end up crushing a few vehicles on the I-5 below. 3 people would end up dying, all of which being passengers and rail fans on one of the coaches. And there were an additional 200 or so injured. Surprisingly and luckily, the engineer and conductor climbed out of the SC44 Charger not dead. They were only injured, even though the Charger bore the brunt of the impact. How did this happen? What could have caused such a catastrophic miscalculation, causing 3 people to die? Well, as it turns out, from the NTSB investigation, a lot caused it. First of all, they were going to have made the curve before the bridge over the I-5 less sharp, but they determined it would cost too much for the amount that they were funded for rehabilitating the Point Defiance bypass. So they just left the curve the same with a speed restriction to 30 miles an hour. Secondly, there was insufficient training on that territory and on the Chargers themselves. As before the derailment, the engineer was quoted as saying that they were trying to decipher what the warnings were. Third of all, there was no PTC on the line. All of these contributing factors would come together, causing the train to derail catastrophically. 1402 and the Talgo set were both scrapped afterward. 181, the sole survivor of the crash, would end up going back into Amtrak service and is still in service today. In 2021 or so, the bypass was reopened, but as far as I can tell, there is some differences about it.